Hey, what's up, guys? Um, I just want to do a quick review on the old iron ride that Chris Brandt had a couple weeks ago. It's been 2 weeks ago, and I haven't stopped thinking about it. So I thought we ought to do a quick review because I had never been to Colorado to ride snowmobiles. Never met Chris Brandt, never been around any of his guided tours, anything like that. So I had never ridden at that elevation either, so I had a lot of questions, some unknowns that I had no idea what to think about. And all I can say is it was an amazing experience. Like, it was so much fun. Definitely, if he'll have me back, I am coming back. So, kind of a quick rundown of how the 3 days went. We showed up on a Thursday afternoon. Um, a buddy and I luckily made the trip together, 9 hours from where we live, and both of us had no idea what to expect. We pull into Chris's place. The first guy we run into is Chris, and I'm just such a nice, genuine dude. He come right out and greeted us and was just super excited to see what was in the trailer. I think he was just excited for that weekend as we were. Anyway, we get there, we unload our sleds, put them in his shop, and a few guys had got there before us, so we kind of checked out what they had brung, um, showed them what we had brung, and every few minutes, a half hour, whatever, another guy would show up, and you just never knew what was going to come out of the trailer. There was some awesome Yamaha triples. There was a Storm. There was some custom built sleds. A guy brought a Holtz chassis that I tried to bring home, and for whatever reason, he wanted to keep it. I mean, nobody, whatever. It super cool stuff. I mean, Chris had quite the collection himself. Anyway, so we get there, unload the sleds, kind of line them up in the shop, kind of go over what's going to happen the next few days. He sends us back to his lodge, which is a few minutes away from his shop. He has a full-time chef there. He cooks you breakfast, lunch, and dinner on the mountain. You eat a warm sandwich every day, cooked in the fire. He's cooking you a full breakfast, full dinner. Like, it was top notch. It was so cool. Um, so the first morning, we go to the shop. We kind of do like a little interview thing with him, kind of giving the background of ourselves, the snowmobile that we brought, kind of what the vintage snowmobiles mean to us. After that, we kind of lined the sleds up and took a couple pictures and got on the snow. I mean, I'll bet it was noon, if not before, we were on the snow. Um, like I said, never ridden in Colorado, never ridden at that elevation. We unloaded at 10,000 feet plus. Here in Utah where I ride, we never. I mean, we might brush 10,000 maybe, but we unloaded there and we rode up to 13 plus. So had no idea if the sled was going to run. Just so many unknowns. Super cool. Like, we unloaded, was right on a nice road. Had been groomed not too long before. We ran up the road. I believe it was, I don't know, it was under 10 miles, just 10-15 minutes up the road to a big open bowl where we could sit and test and tune. My sled needed less fuel. Obviously less fuel, less weight, and luckily was able to get it to run pretty decent. I mean, it obviously less power than what I'm used to around here, but we got him to run good, and we just had a blast. He'd take us into some tight trees, get us all stuck and irritated, and then he'd go show us some neat stuff, and it was a ball. So first day, I think we were on the snow. I think we were trying to load close to 6:30, so back to his shop, unloaded everything. Um, I think all of us had a small list of changes and things we wanted to work on our sleds. So Anyways, we got all our stuff in the shop so it could dry off and melt off, and went back, had an awesome dinner. Next morning, up bright and early, he gave us, I'll bet it was a couple hours in the morning, to get our sleds up and going, and fix anything that we needed to. It was awesome. Second day again, we unloaded. He went and got us stuck. Went and rode some awesome stuff. His whole family and a bunch of the crew that works at BBA was able to come with us the second day, so it was awesome to see all of his family on the snow. His daughter beat all of us in drag races up the hill, like all of us. She had a gnarly 600 lightweight sled. Rode all day. Again, getting back to the trailer, it was like 6:30, 7 o'clock. One of his guides, TJ, ended up in the river, like on the way back to the truck. It was, like I said, such an experience, so many memories. And that night, Chris, all of his guides, everybody was at the lodge. We had dinner together. I laughed. We laughed the whole weekend. It was just so much fun. But we got back that night, told stories, reminisced, laughed. Me and my buddy, we ended up planning to leave fairly early that next morning, which was Sunday morning. And so we tried to go to bed somewhat early. Didn't necessarily get there, but anyway, we left pretty early and haven't stopped thinking about it since. It was such a good time, and hope to be included again next year. Hopefully that was a good review of what to expect if you plan on going to the old Iron Ride next year. Like I said, I am planning on it. I hope I get to go again. Hope I get the invite. Can't wait to see what everybody brings. I most likely bring old Shiny here that hasn't been touched since we got back, but looking for the next Ripper. So anyway,